It's really useful to be able to go backwards sometimes. Reverse is a very handy feature, even on a sewing machine. But is it as simple as just turning the hand wheel in the opposite direction? I'm Ollie, this is Simply Stitchy. In today's video, we're going to be finding out how reverse works on a sewing machine. When sewing machines first came out, reverse wasn't a thing. Grandma here, she's a Singer 27 from 1912, is a forwards only straight stitch machine. As we found out in a previous video, this one, the direction that you turn a hand wheel on a sewing machine makes all the difference to whether you get a decent stitch or not down here. If that needle doesn't meet that shuttle in exactly the right spot at exactly the right time, it's not going to make a stitch. If I turn the hand wheel the right way, which in this particular case is towards me, the needle is going to go into the machine as the tip of the shuttle goes past, and as the shuttle comes by again, it's going to pick up that thread and it's going to go around the shuttle. You see that? And that's how it makes the lock stitch, and that's how it picks up the bobbin thread. If I turn the wheel the wrong way, which, because this is a Singer, is away from me, the needle is going into the machine at the back of the shuttle case. And did you see that? The thread hasn't gone down to meet the shuttle. I'll keep turning it the wrong way. And now what I've got is the actual bobbin thread and the top thread are getting caught up on the shuttle case instead of making a stitch. Now that doesn't mean that you can't do a lock stitch on an old machine like this, because you can. You just have to be a bit more manual about it. You do a few stitches forward, take the needle out of the work, lift your pressure foot, move it back to the start of your sewing, and then you just sew over the top. And that's a manual reverse on an old vintage or antique sewing machine. Reverse on sewing machines is actually an automation of that process of moving the fabric back to go back over the stitches. This is the Singer 1591 and it has a reverse function. If you just watch those feed dogs for a minute, I'll try and slow it down so you can see what they're doing. They're actually moving from front to back, and that's how the sewing machine moves the fabric from here to the back of the machine. Now if I flick the machine into reverse, those feed dogs are going in the opposite direction. What they'll do now is they'll actually move the fabric from the back of the machine forwards. That's a key point, so hang on to that for a minute. If you watch again, you'll notice that while the feed dogs have changed direction, the needle is still going up and down. If I just take it out of reverse again, the needle just goes up and down. If we look at the underneath of the machine, you'll notice that there's 3 bars. There's this one, the middle one, and this one down the bottom. And if I turn the wheel, in forwards and now in reverse, the one that changes is this one. The actual mechanism underneath that powers the needle going up and down and makes the bobbin turn round keeps going in the same direction. Keep an eye on this rod here, the one that goes upwards, and it's got like an end that looks a bit like a tuning fork. I'm turning the wheel towards me because this is a Singer and that's a forward gear. Now keep an eye on that, and I'm going to move it into reverse. See that? It's moving ever so slightly as I push it into reverse. That's forward and reverse. Forwards. There's the feed dogs going from front to back. And reverse. There are the feed dogs going from back to front. So the only thing that changes direction are the feed dogs. It started to be introduced onto sewing machines way back in the 1930s, 1940s. By the 1950s, it was pretty much standard on all machines. And it'll either be a button or it's going to be a lever. Now with these type of reverse buttons, the machine will only go backwards for as long as you've got the button pushed in. As soon as you take your finger off the button, it'll start going forwards again. Now on this particular style, if you leave the lever there, your machine's going to carry on going backwards. In order to go forwards again, you need to manually put it back down into the forward section onto whatever stitch length you'd selected. So to recap, you can't get reverse on a sewing machine by just turning the hand wheel in a different direction. For an automatic reverse, your sewing machine's going to need to either have a push button function or a lever to put the machine into reverse. If your machine predates the 1930s, the chances are it isn't going to have an automatic reverse. So in order to do a back tack, you're going to need to sew a few stitches forwards, lift the needle out of the fabric, and then go back over those stitches to lock them into place. I hope you liked today's video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. And why not check out some of the other videos I've got on the channel by using the links coming up on the screen any minute now, or the ones I'll pop in the description box below for you. And why not subscribe and click that little bell that's just below so that YouTube can let you know when I've uploaded another video. You can also support the channel financially by clicking the join button, which is also just below the video screen, and becoming a member of the channel. For $3.99 a month, you can get early access to my long form videos, prompt response to comments, and other perks. Whatever video you do go and check out next, hope to see you back here for the next one. And in the meantime, whatever you're sewing it with, embrace your creativity and have fun. Thank you ever so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye for now.